So let me tell you this only once. If you want to be a professional public speaker, brace yourself for criticism, because you are going to get it. And if you can't handle criticism, don't be a public speaker. Because if it was easy, if public speaking was easy, everyone would be doing it. However, it isn't easy. And I'm glad you're here on this journey. I'm glad you're watching this video, because public speaking is one of the highest paid professions. And if you stick with the program, and I really do hope you do, and if you persist with your dream of being a speaker, you will eventually get there. Let's get started. Hi, my name is Alex. I'm a best-selling author, international speaker, and consultant. I've helped thousands of people from all around the world on improving their public speaking skills and becoming better, higher paid public speakers. And I'm here to take your public speaking skills to the next level. Now, as a speaker, we all enjoy praises from others, of course, right? Feedback, positive or negative, does have an effect on human beings. Now, things people say to us and how they say them affect our self-esteem. And some people seem to take great pride in tearing others down. You will bump into a few of those on your journey. And sometimes we feel that even the smallest insult is the straw that broke the camel's back. It's very difficult to ignore that type of comment or move on with our lives. Then there'll be days of encouraging comments that, you know, if someone gives you an encouraging comment, you're going to feel good about that, right? We can't help but feel good about ourselves. It helps us feel positive. So I want to give you a couple of quick tips on how to handle criticism. Tip number one, determine if the negative feedback can be useful. Now, just because something is negative, it doesn't always mean it's wrong. Determine actually if the feedback is true and check to see if you're doing something wrong. And there is a possibility that you can use that feedback to improve. If there is room for improvement, make adjustments and move on. You know, learn from mistakes. That's what they're there for. And this will in turn turn the negative into a positive. No one's perfect. Let me tell you that now. No one is perfect. When you start thinking you're perfect, you close yourself down to reflection and constructive improvements. Tip number two, determine if the person is worth listening to. You know, there's an old statement that says, consider the source. And it's important that we know exactly what kind of person that we want to listen to and what type of person or individual we do not want to pay attention to. Family and friends will usually be honest with you without trying to hurt you. That is, it's not always the case though. Some family members can be detrimental to you and they'll say bad things. They might not always be looking out for the right things from the right perspective, and they won't always give you good advice. Total strangers sometimes can be a little different. You know, sometimes they'll give you good advice because the lack of relationship. So try to determine the mindset when making the comment. Now, sometimes it's actually meant to be helpful, and sometimes it's, you know, it's meant to get a reaction from you. So if you're speaking from a negative mindset, they're not someone whose opinion should be valued. Okay? Tip number three, realize that you are not perfect. No one is perfect. And anyone in their right mind wouldn't claim to be. It can still hurt when our imperfections are pointed out, okay, in a negative way. Now, sometimes we spend a little too much time focusing on those imperfections. It can help, if it can help us learn from mistakes, then that's great, but sometimes if you do get negative feedback, you will feel discouraged because of it. But just realize that people do make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes from time to time. Tip number four, take time out. You know, letting your pride get involved is not a good thing to do. Don't let yourself stoop to that level. You know, don't react, don't overreact. Take a break, review the situation, sit down, and deal with it later on. You may actually find that the statement may be true and you can learn from it, or decide it isn't and ignore it. Whichever you do, it will be done with a clear perspective if you take a break. Tip number five, be sure of your motivation. You know, like we shouldn't let negative feedback keep us down. In saying that, we shouldn't really rely on positive feedback to pick us up. There's nothing wrong with kind of basking in the limelight when we get it, but motivation should be coming from a different place. You know, enjoy the positive, but your true identity kind of comes from within. So your opinion of yourself shouldn't come from people around you. Now, when all is said and done, we should also realize that we are striving to better ourselves. My name is Alex. If you'd like to gain free instant access to a 30-day video training course on how to become a better public speaker, how to rid yourself of any fear or anxiety, and how to improve your public speaking skills to a degree where you give a powerful, persuasive presentation, then go to www.radicalpublicspeaking.com. I'll see you there.